As I walked in Kware, I saw the needs of the people, and I realized that something needed to be done. And God gave me a vision and a mission based on Matthew 9:35 to 33. And it was like when Jesus walked through the villages and the synagogues, he saw so many hungry people, he saw people suffering, and he had compassion on the multitudes, yeah? They looked like sheep without a shepherd, scattered all over. That's exactly how I felt. And I remember one time I took a number of them, it was 5 of them, squashed to my kaka. I took them to Cambry, and then I was there like the whole day with them. One of them was expecting, but as we were driving there, they started sharing with me how they got infected. But after I finished with them that day, gave them transport to come home, as I was driving home, and the Lord asked me, so, you are doing this. How far do you want to go with this? I remember crying. And then I said, as far as you want me to go. And then the voice asked me, if I told you to bathe them, would you bathe them? And 2 weeks after, I was put to the test. One of them got sick. She was admitted in Bakasi. I went with a friend of mine. So this lady says she wants to use the washroom. And we asked this lady, say, so where are the washrooms? We're going to hold her and take her to the washroom. And then the patients look at her like, washrooms? Hakuna? Hapa tunatumia ndoo. Hey, we looked at one another, my friend, and it's like, okay. So we held her, helped her do her thing, wiped her, washed her, combed her hair, fed her. You know, she died in the night. We were there at the funeral. You know, it was very, very emotional. For me, that was a turning point. And she left a child. She left one child. She left 3 children. And before she died, she would bring those children to me and tell me, you look like you've got a good heart. I want to give you these children. And at that point, I guess, I think as I saw this, a few others died, I felt, every mother, these mothers don't need to die. They need to live. Because they leave all these children who are suffering, So at that point, that's when I actually told the Lord, tell me what you want me to do. I am ready. That was my turning point. And then I came back to the ladies and I asked them, so if you are to be helped to do something sustainable, if you finish this home-based care, every time I come here, you introduce me to a different husband, you're in a different house, we need something sustainable. What do we do? And they had a whole list of the things that they wanted. Kutengeneza mikeka, kushona manguo, access to credit ya kutengeneza biashara. So that's when, and 80% of them actually said mikeka. So that's when we leased the building down where we began. And I went and spoke to my husband and said, these mamas, they want a place to be trained mikekas.
What shocked me was when I walked in there and found activity. I found women weaving carpets. That day, that was the day I actually caught the vision. I realized this woman is serious. And I said, I'm going to now dedicate myself to supporting this. This actually confronted me, okay? And my humanity was confronted by this experience.
What I didn't understand was the connections back into the community and how that all worked, And on the surface of it, you wouldn't see it. You just see a simple office, a few employees, and just a few people working. You wouldn't see that. But it's only later that I learned that there was home-based care, that there were groups organized within the kijijis who were providing psychosocial support, which is very important, a very important response to HIV/AIDS, psychosocial support. And that is what I didn't see, but what I immediately understood as being important. And that has remained to me the key focus of Beacon of Hope.
The mission in itself, it's centered on the beneficiary. That whoever joins Beacon, it will not be about themselves. They are, I would say, what they want, but mostly how can they serve? Because as you serve, then it will come back to you, because it's like what you're planting into the world. What you're giving is what you're planting. And also that they will not forget that God will not forget their labor.
It is the culture of the organization. But the people who work here are so highly dedicated, very knowledgeable and highly dedicated. Yeah? And they would go over and above, the call of duty. For example, the teacher who I said I was in the class the whole day, you'd find that children would come in, they haven't been bathed. What would a normal reaction be? Send them home. No, here the reaction is bath the child.
Then also having a good board has also really, really helped. It's one thing that I really, really appreciate.
I use what I call the 5 C's, okay? The first, and it's in recruitment, the first is to ask, does the person have a calling towards this work we're talking about? 2, do they have the competency, the skills, yeah? Because if they don't have the skills, then they cannot bring in anything. 3, do they have the character? Because unless you have character, you can have one board member who just comes and scuttles everything because of character. 4, chemistry, because we're talking about a team. Yeah, group dynamics are very important if you want to achieve results. So chemistry then becomes important. And then the 5th one is cost. Yeah, can we afford them?
At Beacon, I found a place where the team leader leads by example. If we've said we are going to give the ladies all the food, or we are asking for sugar for the ladies, it's not for the staff, it's for the families. If we're asking for maybe clothes for the families, it's not for the staff. There's a time we went to Serena and we got their bad bed sheets. Bad bed sheets they're top notch when now they come to the community level. So it was the way you say getting staff to know that you can't take this. These were picked on behalf of them. So you had to sign, who are you taking to? And much later we'll be able to check and find out, did you actually take it there?
I always remember one lady called Erimo. I always remember her saying how she doesn't like these handouts. She just, as long as the day she's well, she just wants to be given 5 carpets because she would get 500 shillings per carpet. So I really liked that. Nobody wants to be poor. People want to be provided with economic opportunities and dignity. Everybody wants dignity.
Only this thing you see in this room are made here. Are not made by people from outside. It is our young people. It is our young women and old women, our young men. They have such a skill. If not for Beacon Hope to be here, all these things cannot be here.
We're also doing home-based care. We're teaching them business enterprise at the same time. It was a good package. They were very empowered.
And I look at some of the people and I just shake my head, because now they have transformed, in those 12 years, yeah. They are now professionals who can stand on their own and who they have a big story to tell.
We used to give them certificates. And because of all the certificates and all the things that we were training them in, that became, they now had something in their hand. With that certificate, they could go and look for work. Most people now in Nairobi knew that we were training professional weavers. So with that certificate, to date, it becomes, they have a way of income.
Every graduation we did here, I normally tell them, when you go, don't forget to come and support this institution. When you go, even if you cannot come back, kneel down and call God for the help of this institution.
The vision is not mine anymore. It's spread out. I have a team who believe in the vision.
I see beacon centers in other counties. Devolution creates a very interesting opportunity. People should come and do their benchmarking visits here and see, because in this place is almost a model of a very ideal community response. All communities need health centers, they need schools, they need to be thinking about their youth. You need to be really deliberately thinking about the youth, which is what we're doing here.
Beacon is a learning organization in the sense that we learn from others, and there's no selfishness in giving information to other organizations. So it's always we are giving, and also someone else is adding to our knowledge as well.
Beacon imegusa moyo wangu. To know in Kenya, najua Kenya ni ya watu corrupt. Lakini Kenya kuna mbegu ambayo inaweza saidia Wakenya. Kama hii mbegu ilikuja Beacon.
For me, it boils down to the question that Christ was asked. Grace is a commandment. Love the Lord your God with all your heart, soul, and mind, and your neighbor as yourself. So love for neighbor then should inspire something in us as human beings to make a difference beyond self. I think we spend too much time focusing on ourselves. It's when you focus on others that greater good comes to self. Yeah, and then you develop and become the magnanimous human being that you're supposed to be.
And for sure, there are friends who ask me, what are you still doing at Beacon of Hope? I tell them, if you experience one of my days, then you'll understand.
And for me, my passion has been to be able to share my story, to encourage other people to do the same thing. Not even to have a large, very, very many beacons. It's to just use this as a model to encourage others, to inspire others. That if you have that dream and you trust in God and you work hard, it can come to pass and community can be transformed.